JP, what a week.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's Tuesday here. We
I,
are
w-
getting
I was
after
actually
it.
talking about last week because we were
Oh
supposed to
well.
record this on Friday,
Well, don't
and
spoil that.
don't spoil what.
We're always on time. We're always doing it right when we mean to.
Well, no, I mean, I think the jobs numbers kind of was like the hit, and then we had a bunch of other stuff come up because we never know really what's going to happen with our day. And this is fun to do, but it's secondary. Primary is taking care of people. But I thought it was really interesting how um, well, the first thing is a lot of people are asking me, yes, I did save the turtle. Now, I don't know if the turtle lived, but I did take it from the pavement to the ocean and let it swim. From beyond that point, it's beyond me, but I definitely
Yes,
facilitated.
yes, and you're a good man for it.
Oh, thank you. But no, but the
You're
reason I
welcome.
bring that up is because the last time we did this, which was less
Mhm,
than a month ago,
mhm.
all the rage was recession is coming.
Right,
And
right.
and then we were going to record on Friday, and the job numbers came out.
Yep, and they were good, right? I mean, we added jobs in a quote unquote recession, down market. The world is burning down. 500,000 people got a job in 1 month, right?
Yeah. So it doesn't feel like any recession we've had before. And you asked a really good question last time. Are we really going to have a recession? Like the big picture, the big point of our conversation is if we have a recession, well, what does that mean? But then even beyond that, like, were we actually going to have one? And of course we will have one. But when we're not sure, and it's not as sure as everybody thought it was a month ago.
Right, right, exactly. And it's funny too because the market actually didn't like the job number, it seemed like, because now it's like, oh no, the market's where we were wrong. The economy's good. That means we're definitely going to have something bad happen. It's almost like good news is bad news now.
Yeah, or I think the popular belief, and it very well could be true, is that, oh, well, then the Fed's going to have to just keep on raising rates. They're not going to
Right,
ease up because these job numbers are really good. And we've talked about that relationship to increasing interest rates to lower stock prices. So the immediate, I mean, immediate, it's like within minutes, it wasn't good. We'll see how it pans out over time.
right, right. Overall, though, I mean, in 1 month, the market's up. We actually had a pretty funny interaction. One of our clients got in, started off with us, and they saw their 10% return and said, "So we can expect this every month?" The answer is
Yeah,
we wish.
yeah.
We really
We
wish.
had a 12-month return. We had a 12% return in July for that one client, and he thinks we're a savior. That's not going to
Exactly.
last.
If there were
No.
no taxes, we would just pull out now and we'll figure it out in January. But
So, all right. As I said before, a recession is coming. Like we know
mm,
it. It's
yeah,
happening. We
eventually.
just don't know when. So the question is always, what do you do? And um, I think everybody knows about diversification, so we don't really need to give a lesson in that.
Mhm.
Um, but what's interesting is when diversification goes too far. And recently, we've been seeing that reflected in a lot of portfolios that we've been reviewing for clients or potential clients, people who want to see if we'd be a good fit to do business with them. And we've been seeing diversification going too far.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think most people think of diversification simply as like stocks and bonds. But it also extends to things like real estate. It extends to things like private investments or hedge funds or alternatives. So you're right. It can get out of hand because those things are out of sight, out of mind. So it has been a big point of discussion lately.
Yeah, I would also say that You know, when I started the business in 2009, all the rage was modern port theory. And it was really being tested at the time with the crisis of 2008, 2009. But modern portfolio theory, which was adopted by the like Yale or Harvard endowment, was that we're going to invest in things that are illiquid and aren't tied to the markets. So the markets, this was something they said, I laugh even thinking about it. When the market zigs, we're going to zag. And so we're going to buy real estate, we're going to buy gold, we're going to buy cars, we're going to buy antiques or records, things that are illiquid.
Right.
And that, to some extent, I mean, it was really tested in the crisis because illiquid assets didn't work very well. But it's a big money game. That's a big
Right.
money game.
Right. And the
What it,
technical term
yeah,
really for that kind of thing is you want non-correlated assets, right? So you
correct.
you drive results by saying, "Hey, I adjusted my risk by owning something that gave me a return without being affected by the stock market." Right? And that's kind of the 5D chess that they're playing at that pension level. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars locked up in these assets.
Yeah. And they don't need all the money right away. And they need to,
No.
like, they're building a dining hall. They're not remodeling their kitchen. And
Right.
so what happens is we're seeing um not not Harvard, but we're seeing Harold's portfolio. And Harold's portfolio is a lot smaller and he needs liquidity. And we're seeing farmland in these portfolios. We're
Right.
seeing private equity, and we believe in private equity. I mean, we love business, but we're seeing private equity um, at a percentage of the overall portfolio that could be ruinous. What else we've been seeing a lot of lockup on shopping centers and
Mhm.
private REITs that don't have a tremendous amount of oversight. And so
Mhm.
we're just seeing this theory of like, oh, well, if it works for institutions, we're going to do it for you. And, a lot of what I've written about in the book is this idea of we're gonna invest like smart money. We're gonna invest in this very sexy or sophisticated way is a way of making some investors feel special, but it doesn't feel special when you're locked up in these, and when a recession hits, you could get locked up in these assets.
Right. Right. And the other part too is you also have to understand what you're getting yourself into. So if you take someone's word for it that they're going to put you in the smart money play, well, if you ever want to get out of that and you don't understand the rules of liquidity or how to get out of a lockup or maybe the redemption cycle, you know, you're going to feel like you don't really have as much as you do because your assets are tied up in things that, you probably need a little bit more information on.
Yeah, and the redemption cycle for a lot of these private funds are quarterly. So every quarter you can sell your assets. Not like an exchange fund any second when the market's opened, or not like a stock during that time or mutual fund at the end of the day.
Right.
Once a quarter, every 3 months, you can request your money.
Mhm. Exactly.
You
And
might not
then,
get it
yeah,
because
exactly.
they will
Exactly.
only allow, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you say, oh, you can do it quarterly. Well, that's in a good market, right? When things are going well. But if things aren't going well, a lot of these funds have gatekeeping provisions, which means they can effectively shut you out and ride out a storm, which prevents you from, getting your money back.
There is that, and that's true, and it's happened when they closed the gates, and they did a lot of that. But there's also, and I'm going to add to that, there's also just a percentage of redemption that's allowed per quarter, and you got to get in
Right.
line. And so you may not be up for it. And so there is something called an illiquidity premium that you can get a higher return at times if you are illiquid. Um, but it is also, you need to be really, we caution around that. And looking at the liquidity that you have in good times and what it could look like when there is a recession is absolutely vital for your peace of mind and your overall performance of your portfolio. And when I say performance of portfolio, we're not keeping score here. We're looking at how you're going to be able to live your life, how you're going to be able to use these funds to pay for a lifestyle and to impact other people's life as well.